years until 2008, when I began interested in looking at the new so-called dwarf planets named Sedna, Quaoar, and the biggest one, Eris. I was mostly interested in Eris because it was Pluto-sized, since, like I said, to us astrologers, Pluto is important. Then I found there were two other planets, still unnamed at the time, that were also pretty big, just not as big as Eris and Pluto. So begrudgingly, I put them in some charts, and something clicked. I began to realize these two bodies, later named Haumea and Makemake, as well as Eris and some of the other big ones, had the potential to fill in those blanks I had seen in so many celebrity charts. So I kept researching and got to the point where I could see Judy Garland's drug trouble and Salvador Dali's mega craziness. And my mom's chart looked even more scary. But to be honest, knowing that my mom was saddled with that hair-raising birth chart helped me get along with her. I could forgive her and my dad for their mistakes and eccentricities because of the perspective astrology gave me. But this brought up a new problem. Once I saw how key these new dwarf planets were, I realized I had to write this book. That was unsettling because I know how people react when you say you do astrology charts. It's either, oh great, will you do mine and my boyfriend's? Or it's, really, I am so disappointed in you. I do understand that negative attitude, not just because I was a skeptic, but because it's mostly driven by the fact that there's been no plausible explanation ever given as to how astrology works. And that has bothered me too. But there have been a number of disciplines whose basis of operation could not be explained for a long time, and people berated those who put them forth. Quantum mechanics and continental drift are two famous examples of this. But eventually, their operation became understood, and the pioneers who were chastised in the beginning were vindicated. I intended this book to just be an intro to these new large planetoids. But along the way, I ran into persuasive evidence that chaos theory, which explains naturally occurring repetitive patterns found everywhere, called fractals, could be the long-sought basis for astrological correspondences between the solar system and the Earth's social systems. Some astrologers already proposed this as a general theory for astrology, but I found that with dwarf planets included, I could show specific examples of this fractal patterning at work. So I put that in the book. That's how it became 300 pages and took 7 years to write. Even so, I don't expect this will convince my friends and former colleagues at JPL that astrology is a worthwhile study. But I will point out that about 150 or so years ago, if you told people that man would one day fly, and not just through the air, but all the way to the moon, people were calling you crazy, and they were very disappointed in you. Just as times have changed since then, times can change again. We'll just have to see. Thank you.